Hey, welcome to you and welcome to your reading. All right, so I already have a topic lined up for us today because this has been coming in really strongly from Spirit over the last day or two. So I'm really excited to kind of dive into it and look at it even further. Before we do, if you are new here, welcome. My name is Chan and I am a medium and intuitive tarot reader. So that means today I'll be using a variety of different mediumistic methods in order to channel and deliver the message that's coming in from Spirit. That does include things like visions that I receive. I also will directly channel the spirits and Spirit and what they're saying. And that also includes then clarifying with the tarot cards, which is what we're going to do in a bit. I've also went ahead and placed a spiritual quarantine for this reading. So for those of you who are spiritually sensitive, you will notice that quarantine, and that will come down at the end of this reading, which I'll give you a heads up on at the end. All right, so the topic we have for today, yeah, and I already noticed it in my throat chakra as that's coming through. The topic we have today is around justice and injustice. Okay, now there's a couple other things that Spirit has in terms of building out sort of the theme of this reading, but that's going to be the primary kind of underlying topic or theme that we're going to have throughout this reading is around justice and injustice. Now this feels kind of deep. This feels like something, because what they're telling me here is that there's a history of this. And it's interesting because they at first were showing me like the American flag, but they were showing that to me as a way to like cue off to the history bit, almost as if, which you don't have to be American, that's not what this is saying. It's what Spirit is trying to say here is like, you have had multiple experiences of feeling the injustice or feeling like something's out of balance is a way I would describe this energy. And it feels a little bit different to just being like this is unfair. Like it's deeper to that. It's like on a spiritual level. Okay, so you may also be having the feelings and emotions and thoughts around like, well, this is totally unfair, you know, this thing, whatever you're going through now, and then also what you've been through in the past. Okay, because they're actually giving me this card today. It says past. So again, there's a real emphasis here on the history of what you've been through, and that this continues to feel or to feed into a it's feeding into a feeling you have of things being out of balance, of things being not right, of things being not correct or not being corrected in your world or in your worldview. And so Spirit really wants to talk about that today and clarify a bit of that. They're also saying here this feeling of imbalance that is coming through. There's some sort of like indicator. They want to like talk a bit about where you are overextended. Like there's something you can actually do here. I actually do feel like there are potentially some actions you can take or some perspectives that can be shifted here, which will support you in feeling a bit more I don't know if stable is the word, feeling a bit more flexible and adaptable. Yes, because what they're saying here is things aren't always, so I'm going to just directly channel some of this. Things aren't always, here's the other card they're giving, what you expected. That's actually been a history for you. There's been a history of things not meeting your expectations at all. And what Spirit is trying to say here is that it would be better not to hold expectations for certain things in terms of how balance or justice is meted out, how it is sorted. on the spiritual plane. They're saying here that everything is balanced and everything is right. It always finds its place, but you may not always see that. You may not always see that. And they want to dive deeper into the expectations bit. I do feel like there's something here they just want to recalibrate, would be a word I would use in terms of expectations. So I'm just going to write that down, because that's definitely something they want to explore today. Okay. But they are confirming here you do have a history of seemingly a feeling like things aren't fair is definitely part of it, but also like the scales are imbalanced somehow. And again, the way this feeling is coming through as I'm feeling it from the collective, it's almost like I don't want to say karma, because that's not, no, it's not quite that. It's more of like, yes and no, but it's more of like a feeling just like things aren't being taken care of in the spiritual realm for any sort of injustices that you've been through, or things that have felt unfair to you, or have felt like they have taken from you. There's almost a question here of like, when do I see this either give back to me, or when do I see this almost level out in my life from all of the things that I've been through? And especially there's a note coming in here for a few of you around within relationships or connections of any type. Okay, this could be of any type, not just romantic. Okay, but it's coming through as like, this could even be like workplace things. This could be anything. Okay, but it's almost like a feeling of, why don't I see the scales rebalance themselves when an injustice has happened to me, or when something has happened that isn't right? Yes. Okay, so let's get into that, because Spirit's got a lot to say on that today, which I'm glad for. I feel like this message is timely. Okay. So there's definitely a lot of like the feeling of injustice here. Ready, Spirit? Yeah, let's see. Yeah, 10 of Wands. Yep, this is out of balance. So this is coming through as like you being overburdened, and especially they're showing this linked in with the past energy here. It's like, and these are just like, I have a bunch of like random note cards and stuff of different topics. So I pulled those out before this reading started, and that's what they wanted to talk about today. So on top of the justice and injustice theme that I've been feeling. So that was coming through as well. But yeah, this is feeling like, it's almost like you've been carrying more of the weight, or is definitely part of it. So it's almost like, things have been out of balance where you're left, I'm hearing, holding the bag, or holding the processing, or even for some of you, emotional processing that the other person, place, or thing doesn't have to go through. Yes, so that's part of it. And this feels really unfair, and feels really like, again, I feel like there's been this sort of like, I'm seeing the Hanged Man tarot card in my mind's eye, of almost like waiting on the scales to rebalance, and I don't know if it's keeping yourself, there's an energy here of like holding on with the 10 of Wands, like holding on to this idea that eventually this will, justice will be served. Yes, eventually this will be, this bundle of wands, which is coming through as very like heavy, eventually this will work itself out. Eventually I will see outside of me the justice that has occurred or needs to occur. And there's something around the snake here. It's coming through, I'm getting a lot of like American kind of energy. I don't know. They're saying something about the snake related to the American flag. I'm hearing the phrase, don't tread on me. So I don't know how that relates to all of this. That feels very specific to someone. Okay, but it's almost like Spirit is also trying to say here that by holding on to this expectation that you will see justice formulated outside of you, will keep you wrapped around and looped around and stuck like this snake is around these wands. Yes, they're saying it will continue to keep you constricted, to continue to hold these feelings and expectations that this must play out in front of you. Okay. Do you want to say more? Yeah, they want another card or two here. 1 second. The Hanged Man. Hanged Man. Yeah, they're very clear on this. They're very clear on this. All right, yeah, the Hanged Man. They're saying it's keeping you stuck. It's keeping you stuck. Okay, do you want to talk more about that? Yeah, I mean, they threw that card out. So yeah, I've been feeling that. Okay, so yeah, when you're tapped in, right? Okay, but this is very clear from Spirit. So I'm going to just channel what they have to say here. You are stuck on this tree like this person is wrapped up. This tree is actually the same tree that is used to make these wands. It is the same wood. You are also wrapped into this bundle. It's actually you keeping yourself tied. The best way to move through this is to realize this like the Hanged Man does. They're really pointing out here the kind of illumination around this hanged man's head, this hanged person's head. Yes, it's coming through as like a revelation, like an aha moment. Of understanding that they're saying here, you can ask the snake to untie itself, almost as if the snake were the ropes. You can ask the snake to leave. The snake is actually doing you a favor. The snake is helping you. How? Wait, how? How is the snake helping? What does that mean? What does that mean? What do you mean? How is the snake? Oh, okay. They're saying Page of Cups in reverse. Interesting. They're saying here, I'm gonna channel this. They're saying here that the snake represents, and I'm really struck by the windy parts of this. It's also coming through as a snake. The snake is helping you from keeping you from your grief. The grief that you do not have control, ability to change destiny, to change fate, to change your own circumstances and the ways that that was always going to play out because it was the purpose of your soul. But even deeper to that you are unable to change outside of you, but the world at large. Yes, there is a grief underneath this that is deep. The snake is keeping it from spilling out like the fish coming out of this card. Yes, The snake is actually supporting you. But if you want to experience the Ten of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles is one of the best cards in tarot, but the Ten of Pentacles is experienced when you learn to let go. Let go of your expectations of how things should unfold. Because they're saying here, the universe is fair. The universe is balanced. They're saying something here, this is really interesting. They're showing me like, is it an abacus? I think they're showing me an abacus right now, or they're showing me these pentacles as if they were like coins you had to count, almost as if the coins here were each like a measure of, I don't know if it's things you've been through in your life, or a measure of, yes, I would say maybe the word, it could border on this a little bit, is karma. They're saying here, there's something like you don't have to track this. You actually don't have to keep hold of this. That is not something that you have to be an accountant for. Because the universe holds this, spirit holds this. It is held within the design. Yes. But there's a real, like, I'm doubling down here on the grief and the feeling of, yes, it's part of being in control. So there's something around like holding on to this makes you feel better somehow. But it's an illusion, they keep saying with the snake. They're saying it's an illusion, actually. Yes, it's an illusion. It's not actually, they're saying what we want for you or for your experience. But if you need to keep holding on to this, you can hold on to it as long as you want. But that does not change the way that things will move and the way things will unfold within your experience and the experience of others, people, places, or things outside of you. In fact, it is all designed and it is all balanced. Okay, but it's almost like, but you won't necessarily see that, and you're not meant to. Okay. What about that? What about this history? You were talking about, Spirit, you were talking about there's a past history with this. Yeah, what is that about? What's the past history? We're saying something here around, there's an energy coming through from you about being made to feel like a fool, or feeling foolish for what you've been through, or and that's it's coming through from Spirit, so it's a little less that's the way they're saying it, but they don't mean it as intense as those words sound. It's almost like feeling like you've been, I don't know if it's duped or tricked, or you continue to find yourself in situations where it feels like things are unfair or unjust. Even as you've tried to either avoid it or tried your best to heal through it, or tried your best to experience something differently. Yes. But Spirit has a message on that. This card. Queen of Cups. This is coming through. Is this upright? Yeah. There's something here around the fish, and this the Page of Cups is cup, and then the two fish up here. Hold on, there's something there they're trying to say. Yeah, it's something around like, let's get one more card. I need you all to clarify that a little more. This is, okay. It's almost like you've had some sort of connection. The devil, there it is. Yeah, there's some sort of attachment. That's what it is. Attachment, because they were also showing me the, you see the kind of lines connected into this person here. So they were showing that as well as the fish, a continuation of the fish from the Page of Cups in reverse into the Queen of Cups. And now we have the devil. Yeah, it's almost like this is some sort of long-standing, it's definitely some sort of like pattern in a way. Yes. But even deeper to that, it's one of the, they're saying the evolutions of your soul, one of the lessons to learn, especially this is connected into kind of the theme that's been coming in this week around emotional unavailability or emotional avoidance. This is still connected into that theme. Yes. They're saying here that, once again, just like the people in the devil card, there's a knowing that these people have their hands free and can untie themselves, but they don't for a reason, because it brings them some sense of comfort to be this, I don't know if confined is the word, but it's almost like kept within this box or bubble or space of, this is the feelings you have around this, and those are the only ones that you are familiar with processing. Wow, that hits deep. Yes. Okay. So there is an encouragement here and a potential on all of these cards, including the Hanged Man and the Devil and all the Cups cards we have here. There's a potential for you to move out of this way of seeing your life and of seeing the world. This is coming through as almost like a storyline that you've had for yourself of like justice exists elsewhere, but not in your own life. Like you don't get to experience that, or also people outside of you. There's a people, places, or things outside of you. There's an energy here of like justice not being served. Okay. And Spirit is trying to say there's a way in which you detach completely from this way of being and this perspective in your life. And coming into that detachment, I'm seeing the Devil card come in reverse, okay, allows you to feel the other emotions and to have the other experiences, spiritual or otherwise, that feel good for you and feel different than what you're used to, feel different than the pain that's associated with this Devil card. Because they want to be very clear here, make no mistake, they're doubling down on this. This has been painful. It is painful for you to hold the justice of the world. I'm seeing the World Tarot card in my mind's eye as well as the Justice Tarot card. Obviously that energy's here. But they're saying here that it is heavy to try and carry this when you can't. You are not supposed to. You are not supposed to. Okay. So what's the advice and recommendation here? So then how do we, how does the collective here like recalibrate these expectations and move outside of this? Do you want this deck? How do they untie themselves? What does that look like? This card? Okay, the Seven of Wands here. There's something they're saying here. Why does this sound so simple? This is what they're saying. They're saying to simply step outside of it. like this person on this, up on, it's not a cliff, but a little bit, right? On this higher ground. The answer is to step outside of it, to detach yourself, to come into an understanding that this is not something that you are meant to hold, to create a boundary around this for yourself, that you will no longer get sucked into what's going on down here and below. This does not mean that you are better than anyone else or that they are better than you. That's not what this means. This means you decide within your soul that you will no longer carry this. You will trust that it is taken care of. Yes. More? Okay. Anything else? This card. Yes. Page of Swords. They're saying upright and reverse here. One more card. One more card. Hold on. This card. Okay. They're being really like direct in this message. Okay. So they also gave you the Four of Cups. Okay, so we have these two cards. It means stepping outside of they're saying neural pathways, like neural pathways that you've been down before within your nervous system, within your neuronal system. Yes, it means not taking things into your own hands like this person with the sword. The sword is held, the sword of justice is held on a higher level. There are forces like us who help to reinforce this, as they're saying directly. You do not need to wield this sword. That is not your job, that is not your role. Your role is to feel this, to be in the feeling, Four of Cups, of the grief that needs to happen when you let go of control. When you allow the universe to work the way it needs to, and allow spirit to move as it needs to. And by doing so, you are handed a new outlook on life, a new lease on life, where you can enjoy the experiences that come into you that feel just and feel fair and feel abundant and feel like all is well. But you do not need to carry that anymore. So it is a movement, it is a soul movement, a detachment from the control of the scales. You do not need to hold that. All is well. Okay, so that is what they said. I hope that was helpful for you. I just wanted to channel some of that directly. All right, so we are going to close out this reading. I'm not going into an extended for this one. We're going to close out this reading with an oracle card. I like to close out my readings with oracle cards, and then we're going to read from the guidebook. So I'm going to see if they have any last messages for you, okay? All right, Spirit, which deck do you want? This one? Okay. All right, final message for the collective here. Ready? this one? You want this one? Oh, interesting. Wow, that's so funny because I was talking about the throat chakra when we opened up this reading. Yeah, I haven't seen this card before. It's so cool. It's the Singing Stones. It says transmit your vibration, use your voice. Very nice. I really like that. Okay, so they're gonna link back around to the throat chakra. So it seems like singing may be helpful for some of you here as a way to, yes, release the grief. That will support in releasing the grief in a somatic way for your body and for your soul. Okay, that's not for everyone, but that's for some of you. They're also saying you can sing to yourself and in the shower. That's also healing. It doesn't need to be something that's public, although if you'd like, you can. Okay, but there is an energy here of somehow expressing the throat chakra that is so strong here. Okay, which will allow you to release that grief the way it needs to, because they're saying it's being held in the throat and the heart. Okay, so let's, this is also confirmation for someone here. The Singing Stones is confirmation for someone here if you had been thinking about that, or ways to move your throat chakra. So that's a yes from Spirit. Okay. All right, they're giving angel number 3 today, if you want to look that up. All right, let's go ahead and read this. This is cool, I've never seen this card. All right. In world mythology, there are many stories in which sound, song, and vibration are mysteriously connected to the stones. Some myths speak of certain stones having the power to tone or make musical sounds when they're stuck or rubbed together in the right way. And others tell of stones that create enchanted echo chambers when activated by the voice. Other stories feature stones that sing, saying that they're imbued with the memories of the ancients who once were connected to them. Some believe that the world's greatest megalithic stone circles were erected with the vibration of sound and song. Then, of course, there's the exquisite reverberation that occurs when we gather and sing together inside stone temples. The Singing Stones card, there's something here, sorry. They're saying here something around holding your temples while you sing. Yes, okay. The Singing Stones card invites you to share your voice now, to find ways to express your soul and creativity with those around you. Your voice holds a unique sound current, and when you share it in your own way, the world is forever changed. Don't try to sound like anyone else, for that would be a great waste. Find your own unique song and share that with the world around you. How are you being called to share your voice and express your unique song right now? How are you being called to express yourself with the world and those around you? And the soul inquiry here is, how are you being called to share your voice or transmit your vibration in a bigger way? Okay, yeah, they have a lot to say here. Okay, so there's something here around transmitting your vibration in a bigger way. They are saying here, by you detaching yourself from this element of control of the spiritual justice, yes, by you and injustice, by you detaching yourself from it, you become actually expanded. The world becomes much higher. It's almost like when you move to this different level, it's expanded. Spirit needs you, for many of you who are watching this, to transmit your unique vibration. Each of you in your life is a unique song of the universe. And so there's a real call here, as they're saying, there's a real call here for you to understand that the path you've walked is unique to your specific soul's song. And again, song is a metaphor for your uniqueness in this world. Yes, so it's both. It is also saying it is an encouragement for you to use your unique gifts and talents, whether they are song, singing, or not, to express in the world. This would be a good opportunity as you process your grief around letting go, to express into the world in the way that is fit for you. You are here to create art. These experiences create. These experiences create. I'm seeing the Magician tarot card in my mind's eye. And there's some sort of recognition here that you are the creator. You are a creator. Yes. All right. Is that it? All right. Well, I hope this message has been helpful for you. I hope you got whatever transmissions that you needed today from this. If I can support in any other way, feel free to reach out. But if this has been helpful, just feel free to give it a like. That lets me know if these messages are coming through okay for you. And or if this feels resonant for you, feel free to subscribe to the channel. It'd be great to have you as a part of the collective. I also do have a Patreon membership as well for those of you who would like a specific set of weekly messages tailored to a smaller group that is attuned to your healing journey and the healing you're doing week over week. Feel free to check that out in the description box below. I'm also doing personal readings right now as well, so definitely feel free to check that out in the description box, as well as other kind of healing. I have somatic therapist offerings that I have in the description box below as well if you want to check that out. But it's been an absolute pleasure to get to channel this message, and I want to thank Spirit for these messages today too. Thank you. The spiritual quarantine is going to come down now, but it's been really great having you here, and I'm wishing you so much luck and a free flow of emotions and creativity and singing your song as you move through some of the processing of detaching yourself from this spiritual justice and control. All right, I will see you at our next reading. Thanks so much for being here. All right, take care. Bye for now.